Despite my love for my husband, I no longer find him physically attractive. His lack of manliness is the reason, not his appearance. I have to say this even though I know it's terrible. It is a disposable account. My spouse and I have been married for more than 20 years, are in our mid-40s, and have 3 lovely children, all of whom are in their double digits. I'm not sure if I adore him, not because of his appearance, but rather because of the way he lives. My spouse is a decent man. He is a father to our kids and treats me really well. He has broad shoulders and a towering build. He is neither thin nor athletic nor obese. He is a large man with large hands, arms, and a beard. He has the physique of a linebacker, and while he never does it on purpose, his presence alone has the power to physically intimidate others. He has a highly macho job that he excels in, and he can manage a room, but that's where the manliness stops. For this reason, if I was ever attracted to him, I might not be now. He lacks practicality. He can't create anything, but it's not that he doesn't try to mend or do stuff around the house. Nothing he fixes ever looks or functions properly. We frequently need to hire others to construct or repair things for us. He doesn't drink. He occasionally goes out and has a few beers, but he never drinks at home. There is nothing macho about my hubby. He is not really interested in sports and does not hunt, fish, or work with cars. He does it only for the children, although he has taken them shooting and fishing so they may experience it. In actuality, he has no hobbies. He began constructing Lego sets after I pleaded with him to do so. In his 40s, he enjoys cooking and watching movies. He cleans the house a lot, and I never have to cook when he's around. I will give him this: he doesn't watch anime or play board games or video games. Unless it's family time, I want him to take charge in bed, but he is not doing so. Sexual activity is fine. Since I wouldn't know where to begin, I won't discuss this with him. Yes, I adore him. Sometimes I just want a man to take charge, make things right, and be a man, not that I want him to be a drunk or a macho, aggressive jerk. I know is bad. I'm sorry to say it, but I had no choice. First update: hi there, I wanted to amend my initial post a bit. You'll have to go into my past because I'm not sure how to connect it to this one. I got a lot of hate for my feelings and thoughts. After writing them and reading the comments, I came to the conclusion that they come out as vicious and mean. I don't deserve to feel this way. I do feel this way, and I'm not sure how to change it, which is the issue. After was weighing heavily on me, some of the messages I chose to. I gave what I would say and how I would give it a lot of thought. And I tried. I considered to come up with comments or queries he might have. We had a discussion last evening. The children were at friends' homes and at work. We were taking in the crisp evening air while sitting outside. I briefly mentioned it. Nothing happened as planned, and I still don't understand my marriage. I started by telling him how much I adore him and how wonderful a guy and father he is. I needed certain adjustments from him, though, and there were some emotions I just couldn't get rid of. I discussed what I wanted out of it, working in our bedroom and his changing interests. I expressed my feelings about his character and general demeanor as a man in the most tactful manner possible. I was kinder. I didn't say those precise words, but I felt I had to be honest if I wanted to continue with our marriage. I did let him know that I wanted him to be honest with me and to tell me how I could be a better wife. I am aware that if I don't alter myself, I can't expect him to. I didn't anticipate his response. He remained silent and simply stared at me. He simply stared without showing any emotion, no sadness, anger, or acceptance. I expressed all of my thoughts. I didn't get the response I was hoping for. I just yelled at him to say something, or at least let me know what I needed to work on. After we sat in silence for a while, waiting for a response or some words. "I knew who you were when I married you" was the only thing he said to me last night. "I will not ask you to make any changes." That's all. After that, we sat in quiet for at least an hour. He then went to chat with our oldest when he got home from work. Not about our conversation, but about how things went at work and other things. Last night, my hubby slept on the couch in the basement instead of in bed. I'm at a loss on what to do. I have no idea how to feel, though not as much as I had hoped. I do feel better about telling him how I felt. I have absolutely no idea how to feel. That might indicate the end of my marriage. I'm unable to feel anything. Though I have nothing, I should feel glad I said it. Sad he won't talk to me, and upset that he didn't respond. I suppose I'll give it some time to sink in for us both. Second update, I apologize once more. I still don't know how to upload the original post or my earlier changes. Check out my past, please. What transpired during my conversation with my husband was detailed in my most recent update. He slept on the downstairs couch that night and the one before. We haven't discussed our discussion. Though our conversations are brief, he has spoken with me about things other than that. I haven't had a chance to sit down with him because our kids have been here all weekend. I decided to just give him some space because he was sleeping downstairs. I'm not sure what to do. I needed someone in my life to talk to, so I discussed with a coworker to receive advice. He suggested that I wait a little while for my spouse to speak with me, but it could be time to let him know that we need to part ways if he doesn't make any changes. It might come to that, but I don't want to do that. I want him to understand my perspective and let me know what I can do to make a difference. We are at that point. I'll give him until the end of the week. But there won't be any major updates. Edit if he doesn't take the initiative, alright. Due to some remarks on my coworker, I have to revise this post. Prior to speaking with my coworker, I felt this way about my husband. We are not acting inappropriately, and we are not having an affair. I thought he could help, and since he is a man, he is offering me some advice. That's all. Additionally, I'm attempting to work through these sentiments with my spouse. So please stop calling me names. No more can I control my emotions than you can control yours. Consider that. Consider a strange emotion you experienced and wished you hadn't. Please stop. It has happened to everyone, even you. Third update, this is more of a repetition of the modification from my last update than a true update. My colleague and I are not having an affair. After I started feeling this way about my husband, I went to him only to get advice. There isn't a sexual or emotional relationship. When I seek his advice, I either accept it or reject it. It's simply his counsel. He's not pressuring me to do anything. I would have gone to my other friends and family in this region, but I simply don't have any. I feel the same about my hubby as well. I have made every effort to avoid feeling this way. Yet I am unable to do so. You are clearly superior to me. Though I'm not sure how many angels and pure people on this app are able to regulate their emotions to such an extent. You've all had that you couldn't get rid of or felt guilty about. You are lying if you claim that you haven't. Sincerely perplexed, afraid, and unsure of what to do. I posted my feelings. I think you guys only complain without offering any solutions. I appreciate you giving me direct messages. Some of you have been lovely and helpful. Before you publish, everyone else in the comments, please just go on if you don't wish to offer wise counsel. Last update. Alright, I'm finished. Not much of an update, but I've been receiving a lot of hate mail just for asking for help. I've received hateful comments and direct messages. I will no longer be posting on this. My husband and I will not discuss what transpires between us. Posting here and then continuing to post here was the most foolish thing to do. It's a coworker, not my husband. I'm not cheating. We've discussed it a few times. We only sent each other a few texts. I asked him for some advice, and he was kind enough to provide it. We don't discuss our feelings for one another. My hubby is a good man, indeed. No, I am not a piece of shit because I feel the way I do. I support discussing my feelings with him because that's what. If my marriage is finished because he is unable to accept my opinions or modify the minor things I want him to change, then so be it. However, I've finished posting. I am grateful to the Reddit community for nothing at all. Second story, my sister, who is hooked to meth, got for credit cards under my name after stealing my identity. What choices do I have to raise my credit score again? My sister, who has a meth addiction, opened multiple credit cards in my name and swiftly maxed them all up. As the headline indicates, they were mostly utilized at supermarkets, Target, and Walmart. When I received a court summons at my apartment last week, I learned this. I suspected a mistake and checked my credit record, which revealed a collection account and many unrecognized accounts. The entire debt, which was accumulated between August and September of last year, was slightly over $115,000. My sister's address, an adjacent apartment at my parents' house, is where the accounts were registered. My parents promised to speak with my sister once I told them about the problem right away. A few days later, they revealed that she had admitted to her meth addiction and that they were thinking about getting her into rehab. I was told by a law school buddy that the only way to keep my credit intact unless I wanted it damaged for years, was to call the police. When I told my mother about it, she advised me to hold off on calling the police and to have a family conversation. Instead, I spoke with my sister and my dad yesterday when I went to their house. She acknowledged her addiction and expressed regret for opening the accounts. She disclosed that she used my credit cards to purchase gift cards and home goods to exchange for meth after obtaining my social security information from an old tax form. She said she was thinking about going to rehab and was using less. My mother advised me against calling the police when I told her my friend's opinion. She implied an unclear future about the repayment by suggesting that I pay off the amount gradually and that my sister could reimburse me when she could. Given the typical course of drug addiction, I doubt that the chronology will ever come to an end. My credit score, which is currently in the high 400s, prevents me from purchasing a home when my lease expires next year. Even though I want my sister to kick her addiction, I told my parents how much the issue affected my financial objectives. They acknowledged this, but their plan to settle the debt ignored the numerous bad marks on my credit, including the court summons, shuttered accounts, collection proceedings, and 90-day late notifications. They emphasized her need for rehabilitation over incarceration and requested me to think about their offer to not involve the police. My dad reaffirmed this morning that they understood my resentment, but he begged for my sister to have another shot. They even offered to buy me a house, which I would have to repay if I didn't tell anyone about my sister's behavior. I'm conflicted, although I believe that she deserves more support than punishment. She committed several felonies. Accepting the financial loss personally is linked to my identity and the possible offer of a home loan with a 0% interest rate from my parents. What ought I to do? I want to raise my credit score again, but I also need to take into account the human factor. Update: I chose to alert my parents in advance of filing a police report. A few days after I made my initial post, not much occurred at first, but completing the report helped my credit record get cleared, which improved my credit score by roughly 270 points and removed all negative notes. I had a brief conversation with an investigator who was told that my credit had been restored and that I had not lost any money. He suggested that I keep an eye on my credit. Soon after, I received a furious call from my mother, who was outraged that my sister was going to jail and accused me of being callous for reporting her. While she was attempting to find assistance, my sister talked about going to rehab, but she never actually did. She told the investigator everything, was taken into custody at my parents' house, and was released after just one night in custody with a court order for obligatory treatment, reparations, and supervision, most likely the best result given the situation. The restitution will probably be paid for by my parents. But my mother snapped at me and made me miss our family's July 4th celebration because she said it would be difficult for my sister to see me. I'm now making sure that my credit record doesn't have any new problems because I want to purchase a home this autumn. I'm thinking of moving far away from my family because of the situation. I appreciate you watching. Please hit the notification bell and subscribe if you haven't already, in order to receive updates on more startling real-life stories that are happening in your area.